지금 다운로드 받으세요.
Fun.
Oh, they missed. You know, they got the chat lethal on Rogue right now. They're like, no, we already did the math. You can't do it. All right, another jjakji game.
And this one is up against Rogue, so we can put everything to rest if jjakji just wins here. Let's do that. jjakji, can you win one for us? Can you win one more? Rogue already looks defeated, so...
Yeah, well, he knows that this is like...
He may know something more than we
Ice
do.
Cube's chance in hell of getting through this group.
Yeah. Well, if anything, he'd have to defeat jjakji and Deer to make it any bit possible.
Well, yeah, I mean, he really... we said he had to win all the games before. He needs to win all the games, then an extra game has to appear because, like, he comboed the stage right.
He needs to play against the AI or something.
He has to find the warp
game
pipe that brings him to game 11.
Yeah.
Like, very, very bad stuff.
jjakji picks Olrena up against Rogue. I think he's the one Terran that didn't pick runes of Endion against Zergs all the time. Goes for Olrena instead. Let's see how it goes here for jjakji versus Rogue. Here we are on Olrena, and up in the top left in the red, the Terran player, it is jjakji from KT. And down here in the bottom left in the blue, it's Rogue from the Denair Green Wings.
What is Rogue going to do to combat this map?
Well, there's always the Ling Queen drop. Everybody's favorite, you know.
Oh, I'll totally
the standard
go for that.
for Olrena,
yeah.
you know.
I'm down. Please.
Well, he's going to start off with a safe build. No surprise there. If jjakji does any kind of shenanigans on this map, the rush distance is so small that if you don't go pool first, you just die probably. So don't blame him.
Yeah. Never know what jjakji has planned after that Proxy Marauder second racks game. That was kind of crazy. So Rogue just going to expand behind this, playing kind of that safe style he's reverted to later in the night.
Yeah, and he's been looking better and better. I'm actually disappointed he lost that game up against Alive because it would have been an interesting story for him if he actually came back and won all of his games, went 6-4. And we said, damn, you know, Rogue is such a fantastic player, but he really needs to get his mindset straight, you know?
Yeah.
I guess that's not such a great story after all. I'm like, we're just really judgmental of Rogue at the end of the day. I'm like, that's what we learned from him doing that? It's not that great of a story. Like, yeah.
Here's the funny, okay, this is probably won't be too funny to you, but like, the way that you just told that reminded me of a My Little Pony episode I saw today, because my daughter loves that show. She loves My Little Pony, man. And like they have to give reports on friendship each day, what they learned about like friendship and stuff. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
totally cool. So,
I mean, a lot of people like My Little Pony from what I've heard.
Because you're like giving a report, you're like, oh, you know, maybe we're being too hard on Rogue at the end of the day or something. And I'm like, wow, that sounds a lot like one of the episodes that I saw today, man.
Yeah. You got to be considerate. Yeah. You have to have empathy. But we don't have any of that as casters. We just say what we feel.
No, yeah.
That's our job, to judge people's play and say what we think about it.
So. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Try to make them look good when they look good.
Yeah. I mean, if it's awesome play, it's awesome play. We're going to say it.
Totally.
That SCV is still alive.
Everyone has shown awesome play at some point tonight.
Yeah.
Every single player here. Even jjakji now finally with that win. Like he microed that rush perfectly. It was well done.
Yeah.
Caught all the drops afterwards. That was some great play.
That it was.
Overall, having a tough night. He knows it. He'd be the first to admit it. Just screaming from the rooftops he had a tough night. He doesn't want anyone thinking he's the worst player in this group. I don't know if he is or not, to be honest. Tonight he is.
Yeah, that's the hard part about groups like this. You know, you got to show up to play. It doesn't matter if you're Zest. If Zest shows up and he's, you know, not feeling it, he's sick, he has a terrible day, he gets cheesed out in a couple of games, like that could happen. I mean, it's definitely less likely with Zest, which is why we'll go to the point of saying, like, it would never happen. But,
yeah.
You know, it's...
Well, we'll see next Thursday.
Yeah, let's see.
Wouldn't that be the craziest thing if Zest just gets wrecked?
maybe he doesn't have great stamina in those kinds of tournaments.
Yeah.
Those kinds of formats. He'll have to prove it all next Thursday.
This build from jjakji, I've seen this before. It's Hellion Banshee with a very quick armory. Who did this recently? Someone did this on Frost, I want to say. It might have been TY.
Didn't he do it with Liberators, though?
It looks mech, but he's going to go into stim.
I thought he did it with Liberators, though, and Hellbats, and he pushed on Departure, cross map.
You might be right. You might be right.
And he just, it was one of the most one-sided games I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
But Banshees are good, too. They're more mobile. You don't necessarily have to siege them up to protect your very mobile Hellions.
I would say on this map they're probably better in a lot of ways. Like, not necessarily better, but like just like the speed with which they can move between bases, and you know, there are some good places to set up Liberators, but this is a lot of Hellbats.
Here we go. What does Rogue have? He has 3 Ravagers, 3 Queens, and 4 drone or 4 Lings.
Well, if he stands in the Corrosive Vials, this definitely can not work out for him. Hellbats come up, start surrounding everything.
Oh, that Banshee is so low. He's trying to focus down the Queen before it can get there, but all the while taking damage from the Ravagers.
Wow.
And it looks like
I feel like
Rogue's gonna
Yakety
hold.
Sax should be playing right now.
What?
Yakety Sax?
Yeah. I thought you said Saxery. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, Saxery needs to get in this game immediately.
Oh, boy. So that didn't work, and jjakji decides he's going to take a hidden third base in the non-normal location, which is very interesting because Rogue is probably never, ever going to check there.
Right? That's like just kind of building it out in the open like that. This is like just desperation left and right from jjakji. This is a desperate man with his back up against the wall.
Yeah.
In fact, he has nothing to lose. That's the most dangerous Terran you can come across.
And he just wants to win games, so he's going to do all the cheesy, weird, gimmicky stuff. You know, he's just going to be like, well, I'm behind, so I'm going to take the biggest risk of my entire life that I would never do if this were a different situation and my life were on the line here for this tournament, you know. So he's just like, let's try it. Maybe I can come back.
Rogue, you know, he has a lot of units taking the 4th base. Double Evo and double eBay on the way, so kind of getting into a little bit more macro, a little bit more time in the game.
And that's the funny part about this, too, because even though he'll take the hidden third base, it may not help unless he takes a 4th base, which he does, and Rogue also doesn't attack. So,
anything could happen.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if
the Korean
Rogue...
commentators are like, what?
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable why he's going for this, you know? But it is still pretty crazy. Like, this is not a normal build.
No, certainly not normal. I mean, it's something that could work out if he's left alone long enough. We do have Rogue getting quite a few roaches, continuing on those upgrades. The Liberator harassment is doing absolutely 0. These Liberators are mostly dying before they even get a shot off.
Yeah, Lorena's not a bad map to defend against Liberators on, I suppose, at the natural and the third base.
Yeah, he's got the spores there ready, too. So.
Yeah. The main is a bit harder. But, I mean, look at this. He's going to get those 4 bases up, and Rogue still hasn't attacked. He has broken down the middle rocks, and he's spreading his creep across there. So he's preparing for it. He's making 11 Roaches and 8 Ravagers are morphing right now. So he wants to prepare for an attack here. And I'm not sure how much jjakji is going to have. He's got 3 tanks, 10 Marines.
Wow, that's pretty low. That is pretty low. There's more Ravagers than Marines.
Yeah. So as we were saying, if Rogue attacks, the game ends. But if he lets jjakji stay in the game for about 5 more minutes,
jjakji will.
Maybe we'd have a game.
Absolutely. All right, more Ravagers on the way. Hasn't checked that 4th base still. Probably assumes the 3rd base. The one tank of that harass against almost maxed Roach Ravager right now.
Yeah. And Rogue doesn't even check up there. He's like, there's no
base. It's a really clever 4th when you think about it, right? Like, of course he's not going to check there. Why would he have a base there?
Well, he's just going to push in, and at this point, jjakji, with the massive green he's gone for, is just not going to have enough stuff. Rogue just macroing it out, making a gigantic army, and he's easily going to roll over jjakji here.
Yeah, jjakji losing yet another game, unfortunately. You know, the fourth base was like kind of a meta mind game type thing, but you know, I guess he just didn't do enough with that Hellbat push, really. The Hellbat push really fell flat.
He got too far behind there.
Yeah, which is, I think, why he took the risk at the same time, so...
Maybe if this were more of an even game and he had some chance in hell of defending any of those bases, it could have worked maybe, but we'll have to wait for another game to check that out, see if it ever happens. GG. Rogue takes a win. jjakji takes another loss.
All right, Rogue right now, he's played 8 of his 10 games. He's 4-5 with only 1 away win. So slight chances, but it is very tough for him right now.
Yeah, it definitely is. Even if he wins that last one, we're going to have to wait and see what the other results and how they come along here. The next map is going to be Deer versus jjakji. And if Rogue wants to win and get into the next one, I think he needs Deer to lose here. Because Deer and Impact are his 2 opponents that if they go 5-5, he's not going to be able to get through.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, because he'll just have more away wins.
Yeah.
Impact still has a lot of games. Well, no, I guess he has 3 more games. Deer actually has most more games.
Yeah, he's got 4
more games.
The most of all the more games.
Yeah.
There we go.
Moster than even Impact's games.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. If you guys have been here from the beginning, shout outs to you. You're the true fans. If you're joining later,
Valdez.
you had other responsibilities.
No one's been here since the beginning except you and I.
No, there's like 10 people out there. Trust
you think
me.
so?
Yeah, there's some people out there. For sure.
Cheers if that's true.
I'd say like tweet at us if you were, but there's no way for you to prove it. So